Hello, everybody. I will start my today's another coding practice. So today's question is this: merge intervals. Yep. So in this question, I'm giving an array of intervals where intervals is each interval is start and end list, and I will merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in the input. Okay, so in this question, I will be given the list of lists, which represents the intervals. So each item, each list in a list is the each interval. And my task is to merge all of those intervals into another list of list, which represents which covers all the intervals. And obviously, the return intervals has to cover the original intervals list of list. However, it shouldn't include any number or range which wasn't covered in the original range intervals. Okay. So I've clarified the question of this. So let me get started with some examples. Okay, and one edge case I will think of is if there is no interval item in the intervals list, I will immediately return the empty list. Okay. And also it doesn't say intervals are not sorted. So maybe it can be like first 3 interval and then 1 2 interval. It's not sorted. Okay. So that being said, let me think of the algorithm. So when I'm given the interval like this, yeah. So let me think of this case, for example. Actually, it should be, merged into one interval. Oh, so let me change a little bit. So let me think of this example. Okay. So maybe the list is not sorted. I mean, intervals are not sorted. So let me think of this case. The first item is 6 to 10, and second is 1 to 3, and yeah, so forth. So in this case, so in the brute force approach, I will take a look at the smallest number and largest number. Then, I mean, smallest start of the intervals and largest end of the intervals. And I will traverse each integer in this range. Then, if the number is included in any of the interval, it should be covered. And if there is some element which appears, I mean, there are some integers which appear in a row, they should be all in the same range. But if there is an element, integer, which isn't covered in the original intervals, then from the next integer, which is covered in the original intervals, I should start a new range. So that should be the kind of brute force approach I've just come up with. But it should take so long because, for example, if there's a number, I mean, the largest end index is super large, it will take proportional to that time. So I will think of another more optimized approach. And I think what I can do is sort these intervals first. Then I will try to merge it. And I mean, main idea is that I firstly take a look at some interval. Oh, sorry. I should sort intervals from the start, by the start of each interval. And firstly, I will take a look at this interval. Then the next interval appears. This is start, of the new interval is within this range. So I can say this should be merged into the original, the last interval. And now the interval will become from 1 to 5 in merged way. Next, let me change it a little bit. If I get 3 to 4, or maybe 4 to 6, let me do it in this way. If the next interval is 4 to 6, I should merge this. Because now the last interval is 1 to 5 in a merged way. So the start index 4 is smaller than the 5. So it should be merged. And now the merged interval should become 1 to 6. Then I get, say, 7 to 10. This should not be merged because 7 is larger than the last element. Last interval and 6. So I should start a new interval. Yep. So I think this should be algorithm I can use to merge intervals. But one thing I'd like to confirm is if I should merge interval, if say if the first one is 1, 2, and the second one is 2, 3. In that case, 2 is, in that case, if the range is too inclusive, then, the range terminal point is inclusive, I should merge 1, 2, 2, 3 to 1, 3. However, if it should be exclusive, I should keep 1, 2, and 2, 3 because theoretically they don't intersect. And that being said, I will take a look at some examples. And yeah, in the example 2, 1, 4, and 4, 5 should be merged. So I can say if the end of the last interval is equal to the start of the new interval, two intervals should be merged together. Okay, so that being said, I will quickly outline the algorithm. So the first thing I can do is sort intervals by start. And for end, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because say I have the interval 1 and 2 like this. No matter which comes first, this should be merged if the start point is within the last range. But if both of them begins from, without intersecting the last interval, it should be the beginning of the interval. And it doesn't matter which I should start from. In either way, they should be merged together. Okay. So as I said, I will sort intervals by start. Then I will take a look. And I will merge the last interval. Or I will start a new interval from here. Yep. So that's the algorithm. And in the end, I will return list of merged intervals. That's it. Okay, so that being said, I will quickly tell about the complexity analysis. So the time complexity should be n log n. assuming that there are n intervals in the intervals list. This is for sorting. And for space complexity, it should be O of n. I need the return merge intervals, which is up to n. And also for sorting, in Python, internal sorting library uses the temp sort, which takes O of n extra space. So space complexity should be in total O of n. Okay, so let me get started with the implementation. So let me say I will return the case if there is no interval. And this is useful. This is useful for to get the first interval. I mean, put the first interval in the merged list. And with that, I will take a look at each interval. So the problem here is if I should merge this interval to the last element in the merged interval or not. So I will think if this start of the current interval is smaller than the last merged interval, then I should merge it into the last interval. So current interval begins, overlaps with the last interval. Then I should update with this. The thing I have to take care is merged interval may end at later than current interval end. So, or maybe current interval ends later than merged interval last end. So to handle all these cases, I have used max function. And otherwise, this means that they're not overlapping. So in that case, I should start a new interval from current interval. That's it. Okay. So yeah, finally, after the iteration, I will return the merged interval. Okay. So let me walk through my code with a small example, like this. Yeah. So firstly, intervals, length is not 0, so I don't return empty list. I go to line 32. Oh, this is actually sorted, but this will be sorted by the start index, so 0, 1, 3 for order. in this case. And in line 34, I will get the first 03 and copy it, and it's now in the merged list. And now in line 37, n is initiated with 3. And in line 38, I will start I, and it will be 1, 2. Yeah. So these are, two indexes I will check. And in line 39, first three interval should be 1, 2. So current interval is now 1, 2. Then in line 44, current interval start, which is 1, is smaller than merge interval last index is n, which is 3. So I go to line 45, and the last element merged list. Yeah, okay, this is good. And I will take a look at the end index of that. Will be updated with marks of 3 and 2, which is 3. Then I go back to line 39, and I will take a look at I is 2. So now I is 2, and I see 4, 5. And current interval should be this. And in line 44, current interval 0 is 4, and merged interval end index is 3. Sorry, last value is 3. So this isn't met. I go to line 47, and I append 4, 5 to merged list. Then I will return 0, 3, and 4, 5 merged list. Good. So I've covered all the lines with my example, so I'm pretty sure and confident on my code, so I will submit it. Okay, so now it's accepted. So let me quickly wrap up today's coding practice. So this is merge intervals question, which is a quite typical question. And in this question, my task force is, given the list of intervals, I will return the list of intervals, which covers all the given intervals and doesn't include any extra range. And for that, I firstly sorted the given interval list with by the start start value of the range. Then I traverse each sorted interval, and if the current interval starts before the last merge interval or exactly from the end of the last merge interval, then I should merge current interval into the last merge intervals. And in that way, I update the merged intervals list, and finally I returned it. Okay, so let me finish my today's practice with this. Thank you so much. Bye.